It's Popa Chubby, and I'm here with Guitar Part.
La salle du plan à Ris-Orangis affiche le complet pour la venue de Popa Chubby. Le guitariste new-yorkais bénéficie déjà d'une belle cote de popularité, alors quand en plus il promet de jouer les plus grands standards de son idole Jimi Hendrix, les fans sont aux anges. Fraîchement intronisé prof au sein de l'équipe de Guitar Part, Popa a accepté qu'on le suive pendant 24 heures. Et Dieu sait que ce ne fut pas triste.
Bonsoir, motherfuckers!
When I was 7 years old in 1967, which was coincidentally the summer of love. 7 is a really influential age. When you're 7 years old, you tend to take things very literally. And I remember on the radio, hearing the radio then was very open, and it would play not just rock, it would play everything. So I remember on the same day hearing Frank Sinatra and Jimi Hendrix on the same station and just being like blown away. I think I might have even heard Purple Haze or Hey Joe or something like that. And it just floored me, man. And I just remember, in the 60s, and I was a little boy, but Hendrix was such a big icon already, but very counterculture. Like when I was a little kid, I looked up to the teenagers, like the kids who were like 18, 17, and they were all like into Hendrix, man, because Hendrix was cool and represented something. He was against the war in Vietnam. He was obviously stood for, something else than their parents stood for. So I was very attracted to that. And then besides that stuff, when I first started getting records, somehow I got a copy of a record called Crash Landing, which was a record that was put out after Jimmy died. That, what's his name? Not Eddie Kramer, the other guy. Anyway, but I was really, I remember hearing like, Message to Love and stuff like that, and just being like floored away, man, just blown away, because I just started playing guitar, and just like the shit was so, it was so blues, it was so simple. A lot of Hendrix's stuff was so simple because it came from the blues, and at the same time it was so complex because of the way he would finger stuff and play stuff. And the most important thing was it just sounded so good. It sounded good, that was the bottom line. It was music. It was musical. Like, I remember hearing Little Wing on that record for the first time and being like, man, this is just a beautiful song. His stuff, The Wind Cries Mary, the ballads, they stood out as songs, So that really and then when you started playing guitar and you started jamming with your friends, inevitably one of the first songs you would play would be Hey Joe, because everybody knew the chords. Yeah, I was young, so it was, I remember specifically Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Jim Morrison all dying in the same year. And I remember being at my friend's house, and his older brother was like really bummed out. He was like, wow, man, rock and roll is dying, And it was, there's a lot of casualties in rock and roll. That's just the way it is to this day. It's the kind of lifestyle that leads to not everybody making it through to the long run. It takes a lot of fortitude. You have to have a lot of personal strength in order to survive and not be. And I think Jimmy. The other thing that was really cool, there was a TV show in America called the Dick Cavett Show, and they since released. Jimmy did like 3 or 4 appearances on this show, and Dick Cavett was an interesting guy because he was a younger guy and he appealed toward. You got to remember politically. During that time, from like 67 to 1970, America was quite interestingly similar to what it is now. It was a country that was torn apart by an unpopular war, which is what Iraq has become in America now. Iraq now in America is not what it was 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago, the Americans were like, no, we got to support. And now it's like 70% of them are like, this is, stop. So the same thing was happening then. And Jimmy had been in the Army. So Dick Cavett brought him on the show and said, you played the Star Spangled Banner. He said, we're going to get a lot of hate mail from that, but, I want you people to know that this man was a paratrooper. And it kind of changed. Jimmy really came off. If you ever get a chance to see it, it's released on DVD. Jimi Hendrix on the Dick Cavett show. It's brilliant. It's just fucking brilliant. And this was kind of, I think, past the point of the experience and past the point of Band of Gypsies. It was when he was kind of forming the third band that would be his final band. So it was really interesting. And that really affected me. As far as the guitar goes, it's untouchable. No one to this day has really been able to, he was such a trying to find the right words. He was such an original expression of soul, that there's really nobody, that's why when I play Hendrix, I don't try and cop his shit. I don't try and learn it note for note. There's stuff that you learn in the songs that's important to the songs, but then I just try and tap into the soul, because that's really what it was. He was a soul man. It was soul music in the purest form. Play Jimmy's music, I am paying tribute to him, but it's not a tribute in the sense that I'm trying to copy his stuff. This project for me has been kind of very organic, because it really started by me just playing a couple of songs I've been playing for years, and then by people, the fans requesting more Hendrix. So I thought, okay, we'll do it, and it's been a lot of fun, man. And it's been good for my own music too, because it's made me look at what I play and how I want to represent what I play. I came from rock, not the blues. I grew up playing in rock bands and punk bands, and then I loved the blues, and I was playing in blues clubs in New York pretty much because you could play in blues clubs and play all night long, and if you played in rock clubs, you played for 30 minutes and that was it. So I got to play more, and it's been a way for me to get back to who I really am. And at the same token, man, the blues is so important to rock. So it's really, in the sense of being a blues rock guitarist, it's been really good for me. I'm negotiating with the record label right now, so probably in later this year.